obviously Microsoft and others have been working on AI for quite some time, is my guess. But it's almost like they all said, let's just stay quiet. But I feel like AI hit really strong last year. I just go to Copilot and I feel more confident that that's going to give me a better answer.
Hello, hello, and welcome to Cece's Collab Space. My name is Amy Cece. Welcome to the first podcast episode. We have Jaime Alexander. She is absolutely amazing. She is founder of Innovation Tekkies and JLoves. Welcome aboard.
Thank you. As always, so excited to connect with you in every way. So this is pretty exciting.
Yes, excellent. Thank you for joining in. So what we're going to do today is we'll go through and just talk about some of the products that we like centered around AI. Okay. Yes. Designer was one. Clipchamp was the other one. You heard of Clipchamp?
I have heard of Clipchamp, yeah.
Okay,
I messed around with it a little bit too.
Say it again?
I've messed around with it a bit.
Was that the one that looked like Camtasia, right? Where you can drop in the timeline?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But it's weird because it's like one of these you can, obviously it's like a newish Microsoft product and it's in the Smithsonian environment. It's like organizations, but it's one of those things where it will only let you log in with a personal Microsoft account.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah. Okay. And then you really have no idea where they're going to go with it. If they're going to be like, well, this is separate and here's the charge now. Or if they're going to say, here's a charge now for personal, but guess what? It's included in E3 and E5 and blah, blah, blah. Like, who knows, right? But I will say that when they moved to the new Stream, I think, was it some of the clippings, you couldn't do a lot of editing in your videos in Stream, but you could at least trim the edges, like trim beginning and end. And I think we might have lost that for a little while. I don't even know if it's still there yet. But obviously something like Clipchamp is, opens the door, because I think we've talked about this before, but in technical training, I really think that the game is changing. You can't have a couple of technical trainer experts that are training the whole organization. You really need, the trainers are going to actually have to be training the users, and the users are going to be training on, you know what I mean? So things like them creating their own videos and them, giving tutorials on how to use the accounting software now, they're going to have to do that themselves, because otherwise you'd be hiring 50 technical trainers to keep up with all this.
Yeah. There's just so much. And from I would say, what would be nice, possibly, we'll see how this goes, is when I was mentioning Designer that I stumbled on, as far as like end users, once it becomes available, being able to create their own projects. So I'm gonna share my screen. So this is something that I found too that was pretty interesting, because this is the one that's AI driven, where I'm just gonna type what it says here. Right?
No, that's crazy.
And then it does say something like add media, generate media, but it's definitely generating designs for you, which is pretty cool.
So I looked at the new Paint feature. They have an AI feature in Paint, right? You think Paint is like, you might as well just give me a marker and a piece of paper. It's so, there's nothing, what can you do with that? Very small. But they have an AI generator and there's like coins, so again, I don't know where Microsoft is going to go with licensing, but they start you off with like these trial coins and you can't go past 200 coins or whatever. But I put in a cat walking into a museum, and then I told Paint what kind of, like, I want it in watercolor or I want it in drawing, and it generates Paint cats walking into museums. Like, really, really interesting.
Nice. Hey, cheeseburger. Sorry. I like playing with new stuff. But yeah, I haven't seen the AI, the paint AI generated.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like it's in new in Windows 11. Are you guys all on Windows 11?
Yes.
So, yeah, you'll have to take a look at it. It's pretty interesting. I haven't done it on this computer. But wow, it is wow. That is wow. I
Right,
mean,
like
so
Canva, right?
this is where I'm always trying to think, ahead of like whose jobs are at stake here and what can you do to counteract that? So if you're honestly, if you are digital and you are a social media creator or whatever, like you should be concerned, right?
Concerned or just embracing the new tools to help you be more efficient with your job, right?
Yeah, but,
Or
but there's always going to be risk of people who are like, I don't need you anymore.
mm,
Because before, I need, they call, well, first of all, marketing budgets are non-existent half the time, right? Anyway, but the ones that are paying, it's because they're paying for, they don't know how to do this. Like for us, it might seem really easy. Like we could use all these different tools and put letters here and this and use templates. But back in the day, other people wouldn't do that. They'd be like, I need a flyer, and they'd hire someone. And let me tell you, them dollars are not cheap to do that. I've seen recently of last year small businesses spending, $50 to $100 an hour easily for a little flyer design. Maybe it took them 2 or 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. So if you're telling me that business owner can learn one or two clicks, or not even that, just type it in, and then they're like, bye, I don't need you anymore. I mean, I just don't, I'm just always worried about people, including me. um
mm,
so let me show you. So here's good old paint.
okay.
So Co-Creator. Oh, here's that thing again. So you can't use a work account. I don't know what that means when that happens.
Hmm.
um
I don't know if I've ever authenticated to Paint. I just thought it was just on your machine and you just use it.
Well, no, it's because I'm using, tell them, hey, you got to sign in with a personal account, but you're in an organization. It's just a little weird.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, it hasn't texted me yet, so this demo is going a little slower.
No problem.
Oh, it wants me. That's why. Okay. Wow. It needs my DNA for this paint Co-Creator here. Okay, so turn your ideas into digital art quickly with Co-Creator and Paint. Describe your idea. Choose your favorite style. It credits help you make digital art. So obviously we're gonna have to pay for something. All right, so
Interesting. I have not seen this.
let's see. Cat hugging, cat and horse walking into music. I'm making something up. I don't even know. And
Right.
then I'll say digital art, maybe. So I've got 43 of these coins, whatever that means.
Hmm. I literally have not seen this at all. Probably
Isn't
because
that
I
crazy?
haven't opened Paint.
Look at this. Look at that.
Okay, that's pretty cool versus spending time searching, which is so annoying. Which
Can
is
you
why I,
imagine? Look
yeah,
at
I
that.
don't, yeah, that's
And then
cool.
let's see. Let's do photorealistic.
That's pretty cool.
Go
The
ahead, use
amount of time people spend searching for images, wow.
when they can create their own sort of, who knows if AI is making custom ones, or if people are showing this, like, are they, um, but how neat is that? And this is in Paint, of all things.
Yeah,
I'm sorry if I sound like I'm being mean to Paint, but it's just that, like, Paint was like, what can you do with Paint?
right.
And now you can do, Paint has layers, before, back in the day, like, you could only do Photoshop. Now you can layer, you know,
Like with
things,
Adobe Photoshop, you can do layers now, like
do
similar
layers.
concept. Oh wow.
So here's layers. I can add a layer.
Oh, that's actually really smart.
Mm-hmm. Because last time what I did was I put all of the different creations on the different layers so that I could
Yeah,
then, go back and just see the difference. But how cool is that?
yeah, because yes, that makes
But the
sense.
problem, so I'll just say from an org position, and as a technical training, like, contractor and a consultant or whatnot, I don't want to show this because I don't know what those coins mean. I don't want people getting excited and then they're like, "I need more coins. It's supposed to be dollars." And I don't know. I never know what it means. I don't know where Microsoft is going. So the
Right.
last thing I want to do is start an uproar of, like, we must live with this now and we have to have it. Jamie, you showed it to us and we're out of coins.
Right. Don't you no, that's like the worst part ever where you get a client excited about something and then they're, oh wait, you can't have that. And you have to like kill their hopes and dreams, right? So
Yeah.
like, gotta be good about because I used to be excited, right? Oh my gosh, let me show you this new thing. But then
Hmm.
especially, oh my gosh, as it relates to whether it's government or like you said, education, you have to be very particular. Before I show you this, let me go and check. Is it available in GCC? Is it
Yeah,
available?
even Clipchamp is one of those for me too, because I don't understand what it means when an organization, it's allowed in the environment. I'm seeing it in the environment. No one's talking about it, right? But I can see it and I can access it. But I can't use it unless I put my personal account. I don't know what that means.
Right.
And of course, these things might be just preview. And so they change so quickly. Like, I don't know if you're following, like, Microsoft Loop and stuff like that, but, like, that stuff is rapidly changing, and it's hard to know, and they're quick to discontinue something. Never mind.
Retired.
No,
Pull the plug.
not that many people liked it. You're the only one. Sorry.
And that is the thing, right? Like you can't, it's kind of, you do have to give the disclaimer if you're going to show something that's in preview because they're trying to figure out, is this going to work? Are people going to use it before they actually release it out there for general availability? And then you have to determine, is there a license or is there a cost? Right now, you're saying, are there coins involved? Because what you don't want to do is say, you can have this nice shiny toy only if you pay a bit more for it. Um, and so there's something else I want to show you too, like along those lines.
Okay.
I just noticed recently in Power Automate, was being nosy as I usually am, and I noticed in Power Automate that I'm just going to create an automated flow. I'm going to hit skip. So now you see Copilot. Copilot's everywhere. But what's cool is that now you could say, send an email when a list item has been added in SharePoint. I don't even know if this
Wow.
probably will work, right? But let's just see. So when I started playing with it, I kind of did something similar. Yep, there it is. And it literally finds the triggers and the actions for you. But if it was more complicated, right? Like how cool is that?
Shoot, I mean, when I'm back there, it can be as simple as anything, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. That you know what's crazy about this is that obviously Microsoft and others have been working on AI for quite some time, is my guess. But it's almost like they all said, let's just stay quiet, and then when it's gonna hit, we're gonna hit, and it's gonna look like you know what I mean? Like, I'm shocked. Like, okay, so when AI for me, and I'm not really following, I'll be honest, I'm not following like tech news that closely, or maybe any at all to a certain degree. But I feel like AI hit really strong last year, like what, fall, winter, maybe. And then, I started hearing about Microsoft stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. It's coming soon. It's not coming soon, it's here. It's already here. Like, I mean, like I'm already running Copilot. In fact, I've stopped. I think I told you I stopped asking certain Microsoft people things because I just go to Copilot and I feel more confident that that's gonna give me a better answer. And I mean, when it comes to just anything, it's great. It's so great. So I just we should do a recording where we guess where things are going to be in 2 years or 5 years
Mhm.
time. Like those, like I've never done this, but like people who write letters to themselves or write about the future, 5 years, 10 years, and then bury it and like let's open it up. We should do one of those one day. Okay, well, we won't watch this video until 5 years later, and let's chat about these 6 topics and see where we think the Vision Pro is gonna go. Where's AI going? YouTube, like just say like our ideas of what could happen.
So that would be pretty cool, right? And we have to think about what we don't even expect. Because I didn't expect, to your point, the blow up of Copilot. I mean, that's all you heard from anyone who worked at Microsoft, not, you know, for the most part, right? And I would say around the Ignite conference, definitely, because that's when they released tons of announcements. But I literally just checked. We worked with a client starting 2 years ago, July of 2022, where we started not Copilot, but it was called Microsoft Syntax. No, it was called SharePoint Syntax. And now it's called Microsoft Syntax, but it was the AI components of being able to automatically extract metadata to tag those documents with those values. So taking away that traditional approach of people burying their documents in folders, creating columns so that people could manually tag and organize those documents with metadata. Now with syntax, it automatically looks in the documents to automatically take out pieces of information, such as when was this document signed, who signed it, and it actually looks at handwriting too, and it does a pretty good job, which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
And even if you have a receipt that was a picture taken of it and uploaded, it can still extract information from receipts or files that were
Yeah.
images, which
The
is
blow
crazy.
up of OCR, which I think is kind of natural. I would have expected that to happen, but that's amazing now that you can grab it. I mean, on the phones and stuff, because like back in the day, it would be like, grabbing something, making it into a PDF, and then telling it to OCR. Well, now you take a picture, and on your phone, you're grabbing the text, which is incredibly helpful. Not to
Oh,
mention the fact that you're looking through your photos and you can put in some word and it's going to search your photographs for words. It's
my 15-year-old taught me that actually. He was so I took a picture of something and I forgot what it was. And I was looking at the picture and I was going to type in the words to search for it. He was like, "Mom, what are you doing? You could just highlight the text." I was like, "Oh, thank you."
Isn't that, I mean, that's, to me, that was huge when I start. And but in you're a Droid user.
Yes, Android.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that, I don't know. They always say that Droid users have things way in advance sometimes than the Apple. But yeah, no, when that started doing it with the Apple, I'm like, helpful. Wow. I love
Exactly.
it. Like, there's just so many times where now I'm like, I'll just take a picture because I can just get the text. But
Get the text from the picture.
yeah,
Yes.
who knows again where Microsoft goes with the licenses and stuff. But I mean, it's smart and it's nice when they're seeing what's really popular, like Canva, right? Canva was the personal version. And if any of their clients are having to spend a lot of money on like all these other separate things, and of course, if they can provide the service, in
Exactly.
within the Microsoft environment, then that's the way to go. So
Yeah. 'Cause people are creating so much digital content. Like, why not?
yeah, exactly. Okay.
Thanks. Bye. So, what we're going to do today is just talk about how we're going to get started with StreamYard. So, the first thing we're going to do is just kind of run through some tests.
Okay, I'm gonna share and play a YouTube video just to see if we were chatting and we wanted to go to a video or something. How well does that work? So,
Okay.
Okay, so there is a button that says also share system audio when you're choosing the screen. It says pro tip, be careful sharing screen audio if you have a guest. They will hear themselves. You're sharing everything you hear, including their voice. This won't happen if you share a Chrome tab, since you'll only share audio from that tab.
Mm.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ignore what it said for now and then just
See how it goes. That when I was doing the test, I started talking before the recording actually started. So I noticed if I get captured in there too. Blank background, and I was talking, and then my video appeared.
we're
Like,
looking
okay.
at ourselves.
Yeah. We are. You see me? Like, stop the
We're
recording.
so
Since there's some
matrixy right
stuff
now.
going on. And
Okay, and then we're going to switch back to that. And that was a great video we did.
it was.
Click and subscribe.
The designer one is the one where you use AI prompts to help you with generating social media posts, different types of materials. And see, I just lost you completely. Like staying in the browser is a little interesting because I don't see you anymore. Can you see my screen?
Oh, I see. Okay, so what it did for me, just so you know, is it put it at the bottom, and then I think I need to add it to the stage.
Ah, there we
Yeah.
go.
No,
Yes,
this is exciting though.
it
So
is.
once I upload this, we can review how it comes across on YouTube. But I will say this was extremely easy setup. So that whole advice for anyone that might be starting, this is an easy win, and I've been following them for a while, but the other one that I mentioned, it's called Ecamm, I think, but I think that's Mac only. Or at least at one point it used to be Mac only, but that was also a very like no-brainer, the one everybody uses.
Okay.